Hello students. So students, in the previous class we have completed the first chapter, and that is crop production and management. So in that chapter, student, we have understood that how can we manage that of the crop, how crop production can be done, what are the different practices that a farmer should use or the farmer used for agriculture, which is also known as agriculture practices. And in that agriculture practices, students, we have gone through a lot of different steps, which includes the preparation of the soil. So at first the farmer used to prepare the soil, which is very important for the growth. The plants used to grow in the soil, so ultimately the soil should be fertile so that the growth can occur properly. Then the next one is the selection of the seeds. So the seeds, now if the soil is prepared, so the seed should be selected well. High quality seeds should be selected so that it will provide a good amount of a crop to us. Fourth one is the sowing of the seeds. So seed sowing is important, and there are different methods by which we can sow the seeds also. Okay, manual method is there, with the help of the machine is also there. So by these two different methods we can sow the seed also. Then we have sown the seed. Now it is a time to provide manure and fertilizers to that of the seed, which is important for their growth and development. So these manure and fertilizers help in providing the sufficient amount of nourishment and nutrients to the plants. Okay, so manure, they are the organic matter, fertilizers are the chemical substances which help in providing the sufficient nutrient to it. Then we have provided the nourishment, but water is also very important. So proper irrigation should be given. Irrigation process should be used for giving the water to the plants at a regular interval of a time. After irrigation, student, it is also very important to protect the crop. So crop protection is the next step, and for crop protection, insect or that of the pest as well as the weeds should be removed from the main crop. So for that, a chemical which dissolved in the water and sprayed in the field, which help in killing that of the weeds or the insect or the pest, which is known as weedicides or insecticides, or weedicides, insecticides, or pesticides. Even we have to protect our crop from the microorganism also. So herbicides plays a very important role in killing the microorganism which can cause disease. Now we have done all the things so that we can grow, we can get a good yield of a crop. And now when the crop becomes mature, it is a time to harvest it. And after harvesting, we have to separate the grains from it by the process of threshing and winnowing, in which we used to separate it from the chaff. The grains will be removed from the chaff. Okay, so harvesting, threshing and winnowing. And now when the grains reaches to us, it is not only that we have to eat it, but we have to store the grain. Storage of the grain is also very important, because chances is there that if it is not stored properly, so microorganism will attack and cause disease to it. Okay, so proper storage is also very essential. Now today we will start with the new chapter, student, and that is known as microorganisms. So we are knowing that there are a lot of living organisms which are present around us, which include plant, which include animals. Now look, when you look at that of the plant and animal, we are able to see them. They are visible to us. Okay, so there are the smaller microorganism which is the small in size, will live inside to that of the soil also. There are organism which is very large, very huge, and they are also present. So either it is the plant or the animal or very small organisms are there. We are able to see them. But if we talk about the microorganism, the name micro, it means it is very minute, very small. And organisms. Organisms, it means they are performing their metabolic process so that they can survive. So the organism which we cannot see with our naked eyes but can be seen with the help of a microscope are known as microorganisms. Okay, so we can write it that organisms some are visible to us, and some are not. The organisms which are not visible to us through naked eyes are called microorganisms. Naked eyes, but can be seen through microscope. Are called microorganisms. Okay, so they are called as a microorganism. So the organisms which are not visible to us through naked eyes but they can be seen through microscope are called as a microorganism. Now you have seen the grey patches in that of the bread which occur. Suppose you will leave the bread for a few days, or then what happened, you will see that is the formation of a grey patches occur on that of the surface of the bread. So when you take this bread to that of the microscope and try to see it, you will find that there are some of the organisms, very minute organisms which are present and which is responsible for the formation of this patches on the surface of the bread. Okay, basically what you will see, you will find a very tiny plant like a substance is present. Actually that is a fungus which is a kind of a microorganism present on the bread. So this is what you are not able to see. You are seeing simply the grey patches which is present on the bread, but you are not able to see that who is responsible for that. Actually, the tiny microorganism, the tiny plant like a growth or plant like an organism is present inside it. That is a fungus, that is a microorganism which is responsible for forming the grey patches on the bread. Okay. Now, where the microorganisms found? If we talk, microorganisms basically found everywhere, in the water, in the air, on mountain, on rock, in desert area, in cold area, everywhere. Okay? So we can write it, microorganisms can be found everywhere, from the hottest to coolest area. From the hottest to the coolest region. Okay. they can be found inside the body, inside the of other living organism, other living organisms, including plants, animals, humans. Okay. Now, there are microorganisms which grow in group and there are microorganisms which grow alone. Okay, so we have seen here the microorganism can grow at every place, whether the temperature is low or temperature is high, even the condition is not good, we can say. And it is present everywhere, student. Okay, it can be present inside the body of a human being or the animal or even in the plant. Okay, and we can also say that they can live either in colonies or alone. So these microorganisms can survive alone. It can live alone while some grow in group. Some colonies, some grow in colonies or group. Colonies or in groups. Okay, so we can say that they are found everywhere. Now see here, student, if suppose I am saying that they are found everywhere from the hottest to the coolest region, it means they are able to survive even in the extreme condition. Yes, they can survive even in the extreme condition. It means they can survive in a marshy area also, or they are able to survive even in the volcanic eruption when the temperature is very high. Okay, so you can understand that they can live under the extreme conditions also. We can write it. Microorganisms are capable of surviving under extreme condition. Under extreme conditions. Okay, it means they can survive in marshy places, or even in volcanic eruption. Even in a volcanic eruption. Now what happened that basically how they are able to survive in such a condition, students? So they used to make a protective sheath around themselves, a protective covering around themselves when the condition is not good for them. So we can say that under unfavorable condition, they used to cover themselves through a protective covering that is called a sheath. So when cyst, sorry, that is known as a cyst. Now, what happens when the condition becomes favorable to them, when they are able to reproduce, able to becomes active or grow? In that condition, they used to comes out through their cyst and they starts reproducing, or they become active, we can say. Okay, so likewise they are able to survive in the unfavorable condition or when the situation is not good for them. Okay, so basically what happened under unfavorable condition, under unfavorable conditions, they form a hard protective coating around them, called cyst. That is called as cyst. Now when the condition becomes favorable for them, they break this cyst, they break this protective sheet which is present around it. Okay, becomes favorable, they break this cyst and becomes active again. Okay, so they becomes active again. So till now student, we have understood here one thing. The first thing, that what is microorganism. So microorganism are what, student? It is the organism which we cannot see through our naked eyes but can see through the help of a microscope. That is known as a microorganism. Now if we talk about the microorganism, that where it is present, so it is present everywhere. Even the condition, if it is not good for them, if it is an extreme condition, there also they can survive. From the hottest place to the coldest place, they are able to survive. Even they are able to survive in the volcanic eruption or in the marshy areas. So basically what happened, when the condition is not good for them, at that time they used to protect themselves by forming a covering around it, and that is known as cyst. And when the condition becomes good for them, they used to break the cyst, comes out and become active again. So this is what, that how they are able to survive even the condition is not favorable for them. Now before we go further, let me tell you one thing, that what is microbiology and what is microbiologist. This can be come in the question, that what is a microbiologist or microbiology. Microbiology. So you can see here, student, here it is micro and biology. It means the science, the part of the science in which we study about the microorganism, about the life of the microorganism, that is known as microbiology. And microbiologists are the scientists who study about the microorganism and their life cycle. They are known as the microbiologist. So we can write it, the study of microorganisms is called as microbiology. Next one, microbiology Biologist. So microbiologist is what? A scientist who studies, a scientist who studies the microorganisms. Okay, so they are known as a microbiologist. So one is known as microbiology, another is known as a microbiologist. Now let us try to understand that what are the different types of a microorganism. Okay, so I hope you have understood the microbiology and microbiologist. I am writing the type of a microorganism here itself. Types of microorganism. So basically, if we talk about the type of microorganism, so there are 5 type of microorganism. First one is bacteria, fungi, protozoa, virus, then algae is there. Okay, so bacteria, fungi, virus, algae, protozoa. These are what? These are the 5 types of microorganism. So we can write it. There are 5 types of microorganisms are there. Okay, first one is bacteria. Then second one virus, third one algae, then fourth one fungi, fifth one protozoa. Okay, bacteria, virus, algae, fungi, protozoa. These are what? These are the 5 types of microorganism. So we will start with that of the bacteria and then we will move to fungi, virus, algae, protozoa one by one. So let us start with that of the bacteria. So if we talk about the bacteria, basically bacteria can occur either in group students or it can occur in colonies, and these are what? These are the single cell, unicellular. Basically these are the single celled organisms. Okay, bacteria. Different shape of bacteria is also found. So they are found everywhere and they are single cell organisms. Okay, you will see rod shape, you will see spherical shape. Cocci is also there. Coccus we can say. Spiral shape bacteria is also there. So we will discuss about it. Let us start with the first point, that it is a single celled organism. It is a single celled organism and found everywhere. Okay, they are the single celled organism and they are found everywhere. Now, normally most of the time they exist alone, but they can exist in colonies also. So we can write it. Normally they exist alone, but at times can form colonies also. Okay, so it is a single cell organism which is found everywhere and can exist alone, but sometimes it happens they can form a colonies also. So if we talk that the different shapes of the bacteria, so basically there are 4 different shapes of different types or different shape of the bacteria are present. Okay, so there are 4 different bacteria. There are different 4 different shape of bacteria, and these are first one is spherical shape. Spherical shape, which is also called as cocci. Okay, spherical shape, that is also known as cocci. Rod shape, rod shaped. Bacilli, bacillus you have heard about it. Bacilli is the plural. Bacilli. 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 Then the third one is the spiral shape. Spiral shaped. That is also known as spirilla. Spirilla. Spiral shape is there, that is known as a spirilla, and comma shape, vibrio. That is called as vibrio. Okay, comma shape is vibrio. So you can see here, student, there are 4 different types of a bacteria there. Spherical, spiral shape, rod shape, and comma shape is there. Cocci, spherical, bacilli, rod shape, spirilla, spiral shape, vibrio, comma shape. So we have studied here in case of a bacteria, basically they are single cell organism found everywhere. If we talk about their means how they live, so they can exist alone also, even they can exist in colonies, and the different shape of the bacteria are these 4. So this is the first microorganism. Now let us see the second one, and that is fungi. Fungi are the plants, but these plants do not consisting of a chlorophyll. We know that plants consisting of chlorophyll. So we can write it, fungi are the plants which lack chlorophyll. They do not have chlorophyll in them. Okay, and since they do not have a chlorophyll, so they need food, because they are not able to prepare it. So ultimately they used to take food from the dead and decaying organic matter. So we can say that this is because they are saprophytic in nature, or saprophytes. Okay, these are also called as saprophyte. Also called as as they feed on decaying matter.